Where did you get your PhD from, Raj?
NYU. So
Okay.
we were actually very, very close to each other at that, I suppose. I mean, you were at Columbia, I was at NYU. Yeah.
So when the very first day I walked in to do my PhD at Columbia Business School, we had a speech by a bigwig. I forget whether it was the coordinator of the doctorate program or the dean of the school, someone like that. And his speech was, could be roughly be divided into third. One third of the speech was how great Columbia Business School was. The other third of the speech was how great we were because we got admission to this great business school. And the final third was, and now that we've established the school is great and you're great, don't waste your time here. It's very precious. Network, 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 network. And I felt very uncomfortable with that. And
Well,
what happened is that in the entire, I spent 8 years at Columbia Business School, and by the time I left, my network was zero. Not a single person. I even lost touch with my dissertation advisor within a few months of graduation.
wow.
And over the years, people have taken my course, and I would say that about 70% of them are uncomfortable with the idea of networking because, as typically understood, networking means let me find out who could potentially help me at some point in my career and figure out a way to ingratiate myself with that person. It's inherently self serving. In fact, I'd go further and say even the thought of having a network is self serving because what you're saying is, gee, I need this network of powerful, influential people because it'll help me, and that's a wonderful thing to do. Even the notion of that is there. So I've actually developed a course or a module in what I teach on networking. And I say the best way to network is don't try to form, build, create a network. Instead, allow a network to spring up around you. And here's how you do that. As you go through life, you meet people who inspire you. You read about them, watch them on television, see them in operation in your own company and elsewhere. And what do you do when you are inspired? Typically you stay inspired for a few minutes, an hour, a day, and then life goes on. Big mistake. Anytime you get inspired by someone, write it down. Keep a book for the purpose. Write down where you heard about that person, what this person does, and keep a list of all of the things where you had these flashes of inspiration. Go back from time to time and pick out the people who actually still inspire you. Reach out to that person with a sincere note or email of, I really admire what you're doing here. But more important, reach out with a specific offer of help. Here's what I'd like to do. And the reason you're doing that is if your offer is accepted, then you'll have done something which makes the world a better place and that makes you feel good about yourself. And that's the reason you do it. And in my program, that is one of the exercises where I have people reach out regularly, could be once a week, could be once a month, depending on their frequency. And when you reach out to people who have inspired you, in many cases, the person who's doing the work, the fact that somebody is sincerely appreciating what they did is like a tonic because you think they're big and rich and famous and they don't have time. And they probably do get tons of that, but they always have time for something like this because that's internal validation for them. And on top of that, you're very creative and you come up with a specific offer of help. They're very glad to take you up. A certain percentage of your offers will be taken up. And I don't have to tell you if they are, you do deliver. And
Yeah.
when you do that in a year or 2 years, you'll find that a very strong, powerful, long lasting network has sprung up around you. Because here's the thing I would like everybody in on this call to realize when you reach out from a values perspective, your reaching out is ever so much more powerful. You feel it, and the other person feels it. And it's more likely to be reciprocated. And that's how you build a network. Don't even try to create one, allow one to happen around you.